What's up guys, it's Aaronitmar, and today I wanted to do a deep dive on all of Banjo-Kazooie's moves that we know of for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I've taken some time to look at these, and I think I've nailed almost all of them, though there are a couple that I'm a bit torn on. So don't forget to hit the like button, and let's jump right in. First on deck is his run animation. Now this is interesting because we can see the start of just Banjo running on his own before he transitions into the Talon Trot with Kazooie doing all of the work. Now I'm interested if this is some kind of a special input, like a double tap or something along those lines, or if the animation just changes right after your initial dash. When it's just Banjo running, it doesn't really seem to be his walk because he's moving too fast and the animation definitely looks like a run. We can also see later on that he runs by himself, so I'm thinking maybe this could be some kind of special input. But like I said, this could also just be his initial dash animation, and when you're finished with that, Kazooie will take over. So for example, if you were to dash dance, it would be all Banjo until you're finally ready to commit to the run, and then it would switch to Kazooie. When using this move in the clip on Delfino Plaza, none of the opponents are actually damaged. Toon Link and Lucas both jump over Banjo-Kazooie, and Inkling quickly hides in her ink. So we can't say for sure if this is an attack or not, though I would probably lean towards not, because none of them seem to be hurt, and they definitely would be if this was a move. We then see Banjo's jab attack with his 1-2-3 style attack. Now based on this clip alone, I wouldn't necessarily say that Banjo-Kazooie don't have a rapid jab or a flurry attack or whatever you want to call it. Most characters in Smash who have rapid jabs can choose not to do them, and they can do a jab string similar to the one Banjo used. For example, Captain Falcon of course has his flurry of punches for his flurry attack if he chooses to use that. But he also has the option of using what's known as his gentleman, so he does a simple punch-punch-knee attack. So it's very possible that Banjo does have a flurry attack, and I bet it involves Kazooie in some form or fashion similar to the Peck or the Rat-a-tat-rat from his home series. But based on this, all we can say is that Banjo has that 1-2-3 jab attack. Next up we see a pair of moves, presumably down tilt and back air. Down tilt looks similar to the Beak Barge, a move from Banjo-Kazooie, while back air seems to be a variation of Rat-a-tat-rat, just backwards rather than forwards like in the games. Next, what we can see is Banjo crouching while Kazooie launches blue eggs, taken exactly from its usage in the N64 games. Right after that, we see Banjo pull Kazooie out of his pack to perform the Breegull Blaster, a move found only in Banjo-Tooie, which lets him hold Kazooie kinda like a gun. I'm pretty interested in the way that this move works. I can only assume that this is their neutral special, but I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work with him pulling Kazooie out. I've seen people online theorize that the first version happens when the player simply taps the B button, and that holding B and moving is what controls the Breegull Blaster. Now I don't know if I'm 100% sold on that one, and it would make sense if that's the case, but it also feels like that it wouldn't be the most fluid of inputs if that's how it worked. Regardless, the Breegull Blaster form of this move acts similarly to Mega Man's forward tilt, where he can walk and shoot pellets at the same time. I almost thought that this move was forward tilt itself on first glance, but something later in the trailer makes me change my mind about that. But next we see a clip of what is obviously the pair's forward smash, which is the Breegull Bash, a move learned from Heggy the Hen in Banjo-Tooie. It seems to be a very strong forward smash, and poor Kazooie just gets absolutely destroyed on the ground every single time. Following that, we see Banjo hanging from a ledge and Joker leaning down to, I guess, help him or something. And while this isn't exactly too crazy for Smash, the animation and the fact that Banjo can do this in the first place are both taken directly from Banjo-Tooie. In Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo wasn't able to grab onto ledges, but that is one of the earliest abilities that he can learn in the sequel. The next clip confirms that grenade eggs are a part of Banjo's kit, as well as the fact that grenade eggs can be picked up. As far as whether or not this means that eggs can be cycled through, I just am not sure, and I'm not sure if anybody knows yet. It's certainly possible that neutral B is simply normal eggs and down B is grenade eggs, however we just don't have any evidence one way or the other. The grenade eggs are also presumably on a timer, giving Banjo the opportunity to pick it up and use it as an actual projectile. Then they'll either explode once the timer hits 0, or once they hit an enemy player. I can't exactly tell how these grenade eggs work outside of just this clip. For example, Snake's grenades explode on a timer, but they can also get hit, and when that happens, they explode as well. In this specific clip, the grenade egg hits Donkey Kong and explodes, but Donkey Kong is also midway through his forward smash animation. So I can't tell if the active hitbox is out for the grenade to be hit by and then explode, or if it simply explodes on contact with another player. Also, a couple of fun facts about this sequence. Donkey Kong throws up an orange at the beginning, which is a reference to Conga in Banjo-Kazooie, who throws oranges at the player. Diddy also serves as a reference to Chimpy the Chimp, who wants one of Conga's oranges and in exchange raises up a platform which allows you to attack Conga. The next clip shows us Banjo-Kazooie's up special, which is the Shock Spring Jump. But something interesting is that Kazooie appears and gives a little jump up as well. So we're gonna skip ahead some in the trailer to show Banjo carrying a beehive, and this clearly shows us both his jump and his double jump. Now the animation for his double jump is exactly the same in both clips, which tells us that Banjo's up special can be jumped out of and it doesn't put you into your helpless state, which I think is pretty cool. I'm also interested if the double jump has any kind of a mechanic that lets you stall your descent downward. The move that this is based on, the feathery flap, can be held to let you glide just a little bit longer to stay airborne in their home series. So I'm curious if this happens with Banjo and Kazooie in Smash. It's likely that it doesn't, but I think it would be cool. Now, jumping back over to the part we recently skipped, we can see Kazooie cover Banjo and launch forwards performing the Wonderwing move. This is kind of a variation of that move from the home series because while the games have the two simply walking, Smash has them dash forward. We can see the feathers appear above their heads and they start with 5 total. Immediately one drops away, and I can only assume that this would continue if we would see more of the clip. More of them would drop away. Now in my mind, this move obviously doesn't make you invincible completely, but it likely gives you super armor on the front half while the back half is left vulnerable. Another thing we'll have to see, but I like the use of the feathers as a meter because not only is it faithful to the game, it means the move isn't super abusable and you're going to have to let it charge back up again before you can use it. I believe in the next shot we see Banjo spot dodge very briefly because the Patooie is definitely in range of Banjo and yet it doesn't damage him. On top of that, the pose he's in really seems like a spot dodge pose. The only other thing that would remotely look like that is his ledge teeter, but of course he's nowhere near the ledge, so that makes no sense, which is why I think it's a spot dodge. The last move from his normal kit that we can see is his forward tilt, which is the Beak Bayonet. This move comes from Banjo-Tooie and is a sort of extension of the Breegull Blaster. Banjo grabs Kazooie and pokes the opponent with her super pointy beak before putting her back in the pack. And lastly, we see the final smash, the Ginginator. In Banjo-Kazooie, this was the means of defeating Grunty in the final boss battle. In this trailer, all we see is the cinematic portion, so we don't know how it's confirmed or activated on stage. Personally, I think it would be really cool to see a rush of Jinjos on the stage to hit the opponent, which then begins the cutscene. Another way is probably just Banjo doing some kind of generic hit move or something like that, but I think the Jinjos would probably be a really cool addition to the final smash on the stage. Now, although this isn't necessarily part of the moveset, we also get a glimpse at 2 of Banjo-Kazooie's taunts. The first has the two kind of posing, with Banjo leaning one way and with Kazooie leaning the other, and kind of just posing the two together and sort of having them look at each other and like, hey, we're best pals. I don't think it's specifically from anything. I could be wrong, but I think it's just sort of a generic pose. The second taunt happens during the grenade egg clip. Right after Diddy throws it at Donkey Kong, we can see them both do their taunt. Diddy does his hat flip, and Banjo does 2 bows. And this actually comes from Banjo-Kazooie. When Banjo and Kazooie collect all 10 jiggies from a level, they'll do a special sort of jig, which ends in Banjo doing a double bow like he does in the taunt. But that is everything that we know from Banjo's moveset from that brief trailer, and honestly, I didn't think I'd be getting as detailed as I got. But the great thing about Banjo's moveset is he has very solid references to every move because he and Kazooie simply learned so many moves in their home series. So that's a big kudos to Sakurai and his team. They made sure that they were super faithful to the games and to the character because they know that this is a big fan wish. Amazingly, there are also a ton of Smash moves that we haven't seen yet, so I'm really interested to be able to tie the connections together once this actual character comes out. And man, I'm just so excited for Banjo and Smash. Just in general, I was so excited seeing it, and I'm ready. I'm just so ready. Fall can't come fast enough. But with that said, I have nothing else to say for this video. If I got anything wrong or I missed anything, please don't hesitate to comment and call me a dummy and let me know what I missed. If you enjoyed this video, then please be sure to hit the like button. If you guys are new, then please be sure to subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out, and I hope you have an awesome day.